For dating and relationship, especially for strong women, I'm a strong woman myself. They're very achieving personalities. That's amazing. There's nothing wrong with us being our healthy masculine energy and getting to get stuff and reach and having really, that is amazing. Also something to be proud of and celebrate. The only question is, are we actually in balance also with our feminine energy and just feeling pleasure, just being, receiving, for example. Many of us are very natural givers, right? And this is more these parts of juicy things, which is very important. First of all, for our well-being, let the man first aside. For our health, well-being, and feeling well, we need that balance as well, the part of the feminine energy. But also, of course, with the dance, with the masculine energy. So I think without, it's obvious for intimate relationship, of course, we are getting physically intimate to someone. So his body is a very important part.
Hello everyone, it's Suzanne Paul here. Welcome to Get Your Sexy Back with Suzanne Paul. Today I've got with me the delightful Sanaz Kamali. And I have invited Sanaz because, as you know, I invite interesting, inspiring, fascinating women to come and talk with me on the show. And Sanaz is a dating coach and relationship coach, but she comes from Iran and she has an amazing relationship with body and dance. And I thought I would share her message with you. So, hello Sanaz, thanks for joining me. How are you today?
Hi Suzanne, thank you for having me and thank you for a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome, it's a pleasure. So why don't you tell us about yourself, like how you got into what it is that you do, the connection between the dancing and the dating, and just like what it is that you're passionate about that is so inspiring. Thanks.
Wow, I'm going to tell you the story if it's okay, because it's
please do. Yeah, great.
I would love to. Yeah, it has been a very personal story for me. What is these things came together, and that has been interesting. Like about 10 years ago, yesterday I was remembering that anniversaries of where I was 10 years ago.
So yesterday was the 1st of April 2021, everyone, just for the benefit of people watching. Go ahead.
Exactly. And then April 1st, 2011, exactly 10 years ago, I was in Afghanistan in my mission. So I was working as an international aid worker. And that was a horrible day because some of our colleagues got killed in that day. So my condolences again to the families, and I remember and for them. And I was very, very, very in a bad place especially after that mission, after I came back, dealing with the PTSD, like the post-traumatic syndromes. But also I was extremely heartbroken because in Afghanistan, I fell in love with a man, and it was all kind of feeling, and especially didn't work out. And I felt very rejected, heartbroken. And in that situation, I came back and my journey started. So even it was one of my lowest times in my life in that moment. And I was regretting a lot what happened. Why did I at all go to that mission? And all anger, being angry against that person, angry toward me, and all this soup, and that thunder in that storm. And the only thing I felt at that time is I want a few moments per day, which I do not have flashback and thinking and reviewing and that story and like what did I analyzing, trying to make sense. And that was that I knew about myself. Dance would do that for me, just like bringing me out. And that was the only thing I committed myself in that time. Then every day I would just at least a space and a time for myself just to try to forget. And I tried different dances, and one of the amazing dances I did in that time, and afterwards I reflect, was a couple dance. It's called Zouk, maybe some of you would know that, which needs a lot of trust to the partner. like just letting go and really allowing, that the other person lead you and you trust that it wouldn't hurt you. And me in that situation, that was really like started to build up something in me, like bringing the trust and like coming from this body of tension and fear and anger to come more and more and like opening up and just allowed to be that connection comes again back to my life. And I didn't know what I do. So I was just using it because that was the only thing, like trying to, to not thinking about that moments and that, spiral of negative thinking. Afterwards, a lot of things happened. I went to a journey, learned a lot about trauma, learned about myself. So like I was thinking of feeling as thought like my life got stuck, so that like that page doesn't go to the next page. So I was single, jumping from one relationship to another one, not really wanna commit, was not even attracting those men in my life who were more for commitment as well. So just not really knowing what I want. I said I want something serious and long-lasting. I was in my 30s at that time, but not inside, was not ready yet, and was dealing with this anger, etc. And I did that at one point, ended up to do the education as in the dance therapy, which was an amazing, and did also a lot of self-development courses, and more learned about my feminine energy, my body, being connected to myself, and learning the dance, the real dance of feminine masculine energy, which is really being connected to my feelings, my body, and to my partner then. And that's like a miracle. Like once I was in that journey, like in that moment, someone came to my life, which was not looking like anybody else before, like not that as typical types of mine. And that was just flowing, and he's my lovely partner right now. So, and this is, when I say that story, is I thought it has been like another life of mine, because now I'm in such a different place. And I decided to there's a lot of things I learned I would love to share with women, because I didn't learn it from my mother or from my, like school or anywhere. That is like so crucial, essential. And would love to pass this lovely messages.
Wow, that's amazing. And what I can really hear is that it was about like the transformation occurred in being embodied, like through the dance. The transformation really, quite often we talk about transformation happening in the mind. It's like about how we think, but actually what I can really hear in what you're sharing is that it's really in our bodies, and the dance was the access to that. So yeah, do you want to say a bit more about that? That's just, I'm totally blown away. What an amazing story. Carry on.
Yeah, I wouldn't undermine the minds. I would definitely, like, also I needed to go also really review my limiting beliefs, or what is really on my way from the past, especially like traumatic events. But the body was very crucial too. So for me is like, you cannot really separate them. It needs to go like two wings, one without the other with missing. And regarding the dance, I learned, well, really, I experienced really what my body wisdom is in the age 36 or so. So when I was dealing with the question, do I really want a child or not? Like, I didn't know that answer. Couldn't figure out with my head, with my logic. So I really wanted to know that answer, so that I do not regret at one point end of my life. So say, see, you didn't really know what you want. And that the body way was amazing, because I had it one weekend just getting to know, like really going deeper to my feelings and my different parts of my body. And that was an amazing experience, because once I worked on my up area, like that was, we were drawing and dancing and getting deeper into the different parts of our body, and we learn about the ab area, what's also for women in that area, like it's a very central area, it's very important area for women as well. Like that's like all movement there, like in the hips and in the abs will reactivate your also the feminine and your connection to your womb, and that's
like around the sacral chakra. Is that what you're talking like?
Exactly.
Okay, exactly.
And that was the moment, and afterwards we were dancing and drawing and painting again. And when I was just painting, it's like it was such a different knowing, was that I was feeling something is missing there. And in my painting, I added like a 3-dimension thing, like a baby in there. Like my body knew the answer, which my mind was not there, but couldn't really know what my body really wants. And that was mind-blowing for me, and I wish I would have known it earlier. Not only at 36, that is a huge wisdom in that body, which we usually do not have an access to it because we are here. So there's there don't feel much quite often.
Amazing.
That was
wow. And you have a child now, right? So you became a mother.
She's 2.5 and amazing.
So what is this system that like integrates body and mind, and like it's so it sounds so creative, and combining the dance and the art, and tell us about that. That's just really fascinating as well.
Well, especially in the dating and relationship, and especially for women, I think like we women really without body, it's something more essential even missing. It's awesome for men, but like this is for us, and with our connection to our body is very essential. For dating and relationship, I especially for strong women, I'm a strong woman myself. They're very achieving personalities. That's amazing. There's nothing wrong with us being our healthy masculine energy and getting to get stuff and reach and having really, that is amazing. Also something to be proud of and celebrate. The only question is, are we actually in balance also with our feminine energy and just feeling pleasure, just being, receiving, for example. Many of us are very natural givers, right? And this is more these parts of juicy things, which is very important. First of all, for our well-being, let the man first aside. For our health, well-being, and feeling well, we need that balance as well, the part of the feminine energy. But also, of course, with the dance, with the masculine energy. So I think like without, it's obvious for intimate relationship, of course, we are getting physically intimate to someone. So his body is a very important part. So that's what I'm involved in my coaching. I do the relationship dating coaching. Be going through the whole, where is that woman right now and how to be, but very important also, where is it not only what she thinks, we works on that part as well, if it's some limiting or past beliefs, but also how that she can get back to really feeling the feelings which were suppressed a while or frozen, and also to the body. And that a lot of the access to it is movement, to both. Interestingly enough, body and movement will give you access also to your feelings. So once that's got, is both inside, work inside out, so in not being more connected, but also really practical with man. So how do I authentically express myself, and how do I feel with a man so he can hear me, he can connect. When we are in head, he's in head too. When we are in heart and body, that's a very different way of connecting to a man, and that's what we do not really fight in that. They are better fighters sometimes, but we just can get a lot in a way more softer, very strong, but softer and flowing way in the dance. That is more or less the concept, but it's way, because I need more time to explain if it's
Wow, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we are nearly out of time, but it's just because, we keep it short and to the point on Suzanne Paul's channel. Wow, just so, like the thing that I can really hear is, and this is part of what I talk about as well in my work, is that the importance of being integrated, fully integrated, like so often, particularly in Europe, like women in Europe or in that kind of corporate lifestyle that we've got in the West, where, so like it's like very directed and like very boom, 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 like we live in our heads. and it's really important to kind of drop out of our head into our bodies. And I think it's interesting that one of the things that we hear about now in medicine, or sort of slightly alternative medicine perhaps, is that let your gut do the talking. And because it's like, actually, like, it's not about our brains, it's really about what's going on in our digestive system, and like much lower down in the core part of our bodies, if you like. And so what there is energetically is to like bring things down, and that's what I can hear, and that gives us access to much more power, in a way, in that it's all about, we're integrated and we're being all of ourselves, as opposed to only just being like the very masculine kind of directed energy that comes with the corporate lifestyle. And I fully subscribe to that as well. That's one of the reasons that I teach yoga as well as the coaching, and because it just allows for that, that fluidity and that flow. Amazing, Sanaz. Thank you so much for sharing. So if people want to find out more about you or get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
They can find me on my website, www.sanaz, Sanaz, Shiraz, Shiraz.com. So we'll be also sharing, or on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook also, Sanaz Shiraz, embodiment, dating and relationship coach.
Great, amazing. So we will be putting that in the description of the video. So if you have a look underneath this video, you can find details of how to get in touch with Sanaz. I think what she provides and makes available to the world is unique and so very necessary. So thank you so much for joining me today and sharing what is a really like just amazingly moving story, Sanaz. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for having me here.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye.